It's that time of the year again. It is All-Star Weekend and it is right around the corner. We're here. We did it. First video on the channel that's long form. Thank you guys so much for all the love. We're on the road to 1,000 subs and 1,000 followers on all platforms, so be sure to tap in. So we got 2 USA teams and 1 world team. I'm gonna give you my reserves and maybe some of these picks will shock you. Who knows? Let me know down in the comments what you guys have as your reserves and if this format's even gonna work. All right, really quickly, for those of you who don't know what the format of the new All-Star game is, I'm gonna quickly go over it right now. So it says we'll have a total of 24 players from around the league who will be then divided up into 3 teams of 8 players each. One of those teams will represent the world, while the other 2 will be made up of American players. The actual All-Star game will in fact be 4 separate games, each totaling 12 minutes. The first 3 games give each team the opportunity to play each other, and at the end of those 3 games, the 2 with the best record will face off in the final game. That'll be another 12-minute game to determine who the All-Star champions are. Now, this is obviously coming from the format they used in the rookie-sophomore game. I guess it's called the Rising Stars Challenge now. Actually, if I'm not wrong, they did it last year for the All-Star game too, where Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny were drafting their roster, where they have separate teams go up against each other. I'm not sure if there's going to be a target score or if they're just playing 12 minutes through and whatever happens, happens. But this should bring some more variety and entertainment to the game. We're going to see players that have never played together sharing the court for the first time. All right, so for the Western Conference starters, we got Steph Curry, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, and Victor Wembanyama. The East is a bit more debatable, but you're starting with Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, and Tyrese Maxey. So each conference has 3 guards as starters and 2 forwards / center. Now, I don't really care about who starts and whatnot. I'm sure the format of this game is going to be very different anyways, but I do think a guy like Anthony Edwards deserves to be a starter. As crazy as this might sound, I personally have him over Steph Curry in the starting lineup, but Steph Curry gets the fan vote, so you can't go wrong with that. And that brings me to my second point. LeBron James didn't get voted a starter? For as long as I've been watching basketball, death, taxes, and LeBron James starting in the All-Star game. That's just the standard. That's just what it was. I thought the fans would still vote for him, but I guess not. We'll see what happens. In the East, you could have argued for a guy like Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Johnson, Scotty Barnes. These players are not as popular as the guys you see on this list, so those would be my objections for the current starters. Now let's get to the reserves. I'm still not entirely sure how this reserve process is going to go. Obviously, you need enough players for Team World, so I'm sure there's enough players that are going to be All-Stars. But to start with the Western Conference, since Anthony Edwards is not starting, he is my #1 lock as my first pick for the reserves. He's a high-energy, face of the league candidate, averaging 30 a game, and this Timberwolves team is no fun when he's not on the court. From the Houston Rockets, I'm going to take 2 All-Stars, and that'll be Kevin Durant and Alperen Şengün. Say what you want about KD, he's one of the greatest scorers of all time, and he brought that veteran presence to this Rockets roster. They're a top team in the West, and he's a big part of that. Alperen Şengün, aka the Baby Joker, Baby Jokic, aka the Librarian, Şengün. As much as Kevin Durant is the driving force of this Rockets team, you can easily say Şengün is the heart and soul. He's the engine that keeps on going, and he's having a career year himself. Next, LeBron James. This man is still elite at 41 years old. First time in 21 years where he isn't a starter, which is crazy in itself. I think the coaches are going to vote LeBron into the All-Star game. I think this is going to be more of a legacy vote, even though he's been amazing this season when he's healthy. But yeah, you just can't have All-Star weekend without LeBron James in it. Deni Avdija is likely going to be one of the reserves on the international side. The Blazers are balling right now, so he's probably going to be on the team. Last few years for Kawhi has been so up and down, but finally he has some semblance of health this season, and you've been seeing him go crazy on both ends of the floor too. He dropped 55 earlier this season on crazy efficiency. Still one of the best players in the league when he's fully healthy. I think he's an All-Star reserve. Chet Holmgren. This is the jump that we were waiting for. Finally has arrived. Obviously, he had a great postseason run last year, but I'm talking about regular season. He's kept up with his health for the most part, and he is a strong candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. And last but not least, I'm going to go with Devin Booker. He's still one of the best players in the league, putting up numbers for the Suns. The Suns are competing in real games this season too. I really like him as a representative in the West. Now, I wanted to add an honorable mention because I do think somehow, some way he's going to get into this All-Star game. Jamal Murray. As another international reserve, I do think he can get in. He's been having an amazing season. Jokic has been out. He's been carrying the team. And without Jokic, this team looks like half of itself. But with Jamal Murray, they've actually been getting by. So I really like this pick, and I think he deserves to be an all-star. He's gotten snubbed a few times before, so I think now's the year. Next, the Eastern Conference reserves. So I think Donovan Mitchell is a lock, one of the best players in the East on one of the better teams, still a top-tier scorer, almost averaging 30 a game again, and he is basically this Cleveland Cavaliers offense. Karl Anthony Towns. He's averaging a double-double, arguably one of his better regular seasons. From an efficiency and a winning standpoint, I think the New York Knicks are the number 2 seed, so he deserves to be on this as well. Jalen Duren. This guy's a baller. You low-key saw some of this at Memphis when he was in college. It just took him some time to develop and finally get that rhythm. But Detroit is number 1 in the East, and this guy is 15 and 11 every night. Get him in the All-Star game. My guy, Scotty Barnes, in my opinion, top 3 defender in the league this season. He's an All-NBA defender, he's an All-NBA player, and he's definitely going to be in the top 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. Do-it-all engine. My team is surprisingly, actually maybe not surprisingly, very competitive this season, and he leads us in almost every stat. I talked about him in my last video. I'm gonna talk about him now. Jalen Johnson, probably my second favorite player of the season so far, arguably the breakout star of 2026. Stuffs the stat sheet, only one of 7 players to average a triple-double in an entire month. Oh, and if you're wondering what those 7 names are, I'm gonna list these names and tell me when the name is not legendary. Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. I thought so. And now, Jalen Johnson. Insane. We got 2 more spots left, and I have so many other names to talk about. I'm just going to ring off a few honorable mentions. Josh Giddey. Team's not doing that well, but he is almost averaging a triple-double. Very versatile player, and I know the coaches really like him. Michael Porter Jr. This guy's been a revelation. To be fair to Michael Porter Jr., we knew this is the exact type of player he was in Denver. He just couldn't showcase that because he's playing with Jokic. But him on the Nets, he shoots every shot he can. He probably has the biggest green light in the NBA right now, and he's balling as a primary scoring option. And Brandon Ingram, this guy's revitalized his career on the Raptors. He's been playing losing basketball his entire career. I think he has 1 playoff appearance in that entire time, but he finally joins an actual basketball organization that allows you to play to your strengths. He's been scoring really well, a bit inconsistent, and I'm not sure if he'll get this final roster spot in the reserves, but he's a really good honorable mention as well. But if it isn't for one of these 2 players I'm about to name, Michael Porter Jr. would have made my all-star team. We gotta talk about Derek White. This guy is a do-it-all guy. He does it on a nightly basis. It's always under the radar, and all of his work goes underappreciated. But he's one of the best defenders in the league from the guard spot. He's one of the best shooters in the league, and he's a straight winner. Get him in the all-star game. Not to mention, the Celtics are 2nd in the East without Jason Tatum. And my last player that I'm going to add, not only because he's performing really well, but I think due to his Jamaican nationality, he might be on the national team, and that's Norman Powell. Once again, another Raptors great. Norman Powell is balling this year. He's averaging almost 24 a game. He averages 13 in his career. That's an 11-point jump. And he's almost in the 50-40-90 club this season too. He's been one of the best scorers on the Miami Heat, arguably the best scorer. But yeah, guys, this all-star game is starting to shape up a little bit. And looking at this world roster, Luka, Shea, Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, Jamal Murray, Alperen Şengün, potentially Norman Powell, Deni Avdija, this team is stacked. And quite honestly, I have a feeling they're going to win the tournament. Can you imagine Luka throwing a lob to Wemby? Or Shea and Giannis on the fast break? I obviously think this is a step forward for the NBA when it comes to the All-Star game. Bring some more excitement to it. Bring some more entertainment. And I think the biggest thing that's affected the NBA All-Star game is a lack of effort and pride. These players aren't necessarily playing for anything. Back then, I remember Kobe getting double teamed in an All-Star game just because he wanted it that bad. Obviously, we don't see that hunger and drive in an All-Star game anymore. These players are more focused on the in-season tournament, making sure their health is right, taking some time off of the NBA because it is a long and grueling season. But these are the types of things and events that make this league one of the best in the entire world. There's a reason we all fell in love as basketball fans. There was a level of grit, intensity, a grind that you needed to have in order to actually succeed. And obviously now, hopefully this brings that out of the American and world players. You're playing for pride now. You're playing for your nationality, you're playing for your country, you're playing for your people back home. And from the American side of things, you're playing for your people here. You're playing for the history that you guys created in this NBA. There's a long lineage of absolute legends, all-time greats from America. And I'm sure all these guys want to be a part of that too. But how are you going to differentiate yourself in a situation like this? You got to go and take it. This is probably the second biggest stage in the NBA aside from the actual playoffs. You're giving these stars a chance to put their name on a global side of things now. And I think this All-Star game should be able to do that, which is why I do believe in this format. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think, how this All-Star game is going to go, who you guys have as your reserves, and comment down below what video I should cover next. This is my first time doing a long-form video, so if there's anything you guys want me to improve on, anything I shouldn't do, should do, please feel free to let me know. I am open to criticism, and I'm just looking to build this community, so thank you guys so much for showing love on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Let's keep this going. Till next time.